I'm hearing it all around the world, specifically in Australia. If you go back to 2013, there was like one app was called Netflix, and it was very easy to find your show, and you could use a simple device. There are now 15 paid and free apps in Australia, but the explosion in content. It used to be that the world watched American language, 50 series a year. It's like 500 now. We've all got much better around the world at watching all sorts of content. So finding your shows and tracking them is a big issue. I think that leads to rotational churn, but also central banks fighting inflation is leading at the bottom end with young families and singles and double no income. You know, they're no longer flush with government money and interest rates have gone up. So churn is becoming a bigger issue. You've got consumers being frustrated. Churn is an issue, and I think it does force us all together. But I think aggregation is going to have to be far more sophisticated than, say, a pay TV platform had it. Right. If you think about the universe of content is free on channels, free in apps, paid in apps, and the internet, pulling all of that together in a seamless way is the way to go forward. It's not good enough that you've got everything in one place. It's got to be fused together.
Now, speaking of the challenge of solving the aggregation problem as a solution for saturation, a lot of words there. In Foxtel's case, there might be a unique solution actually with regards to Project Magneto.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about what it is, how Project Magneto might answer the challenge of aggregation, and where you are on the timeline of, say, launching it finally? It's been talked about in the Australian media landscape for the last couple of years. Where are you right now, and how does it solve the aggregation problem there?
I think the first step is it's very important to understand Foxtel Group now is a very big company. Right. We've got 4.7 million subscriptions. The pay TV part, that's Foxtel, is much smaller. It's rich in cash flows. But we've got KO and Binge. So KO has 50 Sports Live, the biggest sports service. And we've got also Binge. So putting those together with all of the other streamers is a huge opportunity. We've come across the Comcast Sky technology that's used in glass. Mm-hmm. It's famous for the TV, but it's also a puck execution. So we've got that. We've got over 4.2 million subscriptions to market into. And the technology works really, really well for streaming aggregation. It's being used by Sky as a pay TV solution where you force packages. We're not going to do that. We're going to leave Foxtel alone and aside. It's a fantastic pay TV platform for older, wealthy Australians. Mm-hmm. And this is the next generation where everything gets fused together, and we're central to that given all the content we own. Right. So we're well into the build. It'll launch in the next 6 months. It's complicated because the code's being done on the smart front end by Comcast, but we're having to build all of the customer systems for the back end, as well as get our streaming services ready. And so we're very excited about it. All the research shows it's going to be a huge consumer winner.